We're streaming right now. I might stream for like an hour or whatnot. I am bored, and I mean, I just completed my next class or whatnot, and hopefully soon I'm gonna be able to get back to California within the next 2 months. Only had to be out there for 3 days, so I mean it's not that bad, and hopefully I land something. But again, I know I probably will land, so I got to take myself serious. My main problem with businesses or industries or certain stuff like that, people do a terrible job with repair, like anything with jewelry repair, like just basically repairing and appraisals. People don't do a great job on that. Like watermelon tourmaline is not a good purchase at all. It's a type 3 stone, so it has durability issues. It's not good. Emerald is that. It's just bad. Emerald, red beryl, and watermelon tourmaline are type 3 stones. So at the end of the day, they're very spotted. Like, they have inclusions, this, that, and the third. Like, if someone went inside and said, let me give, pay $10,000 for watermelon tourmaline, I'll be looking at them like they're crazy. Jewelry might be nice, but all jewelry is not good. Like, for me personally, I don't think that, the only gemstones I really like, I mean, diamonds okay. I think I like, tourmaline, but, Paraiba, that's pretty good. Emeralds I kind of like a little bit, but I don't like particularly every type of diamond or certain stuff I see, like the cuts. Like if someone wanted to know what type of cut I would prefer, I would say I prefer marquee. Oval is not necessarily the best because you have to make certain type of prongs with it. Hopefully I get into someone's apprentice thing and I'll take it very seriously. Like, I'm making a career out of this. I'll do women's jewelry, men's jewelry, and I do Cubans. I'll do a little bit of everything, fine jewelry, everything. But for the most part, I think that, clientele is one thing. Like a lot of jewelry stores where I'm at are not jewelry stores. They're just selling crap. They're selling crap and they don't do quality work, and I'm not afraid necessarily to say otherwise. And when I think a person should work hard for your money and the work is not even quality, that's one of the main components or issues that I have with these particular places that we shop at where I'm from. There's only a handful of jewelry stores, and I'm not impressed with any of them, and I just laugh. They could be better, but it is not. You have no competition. You're not necessarily able to, in a sense, pivot or get some things done out of, I would say a good repair should automatically fix the problem. Like if I have a class or something like that that's broken, I know people say a good jewelry thing is like between 6 to 8 months. And we're talking about one of them big chains. Like Burna Boy got his chain from A Jewelers, right? And it took them 8 months to use excellent polish, excellent symmetry, and I think excellent brilliance or whatnot. But brilliance has to be 75% for it to be considered excellent. They look at the stone, the proportions, and everything about it. I mean, I've done the labs and certain stuff for GIA because I'm 2 classes away from being a gemologist, so I mean, I got a little bit of opportunity. The reason why I chose jewelry, in my honest opinion, is much more than money. I feel like I want to go to new places, meet new people, and not just be tied down to a particular lifestyle or employment. Obviously I need a career that's going to at least have more opportunities, You know, if you want to have a family, this, that, and the third, you know, you definitely have to make money. And, you know, I really want to have 6 kids in the future. So, and I know I have to make a living or have a career. So, that's something that I think about on a day-to-day basis. You know, other things I do not like, particularly about, you know, particular places you're doing business with, it's not an even exchange for the money that you're paying. And for lack of better words, it saddens me when you know what you paid for. I know people say you get what you paid for, but you really don't. And instead of people addressing, you know, the particular things that they don't want to talk about in terms of what's going on with the pricing and how stuff is done. Like if I had my own thing or whatnot, I would pretty much do Cubans. Like I do a certain amount. I have definitely some deals. I have watches. I think I'm more of a watch guy, but you know, I think that basically from a traditional sense, with jewelry and all that is you know, I feel like you know, basically, I know people say custom jewelry. Custom jewelry is a particular niche, and I mean, people have to know that market. And at the end of the day, I don't think that VVS is good at all. My personal opinion, you're paying for the stuff. And if we're talking about, oh, you know, you're paying all this money, you can't even see VVS. You really can't. Like, you wouldn't be able to tell VVS unless you look at a microscope and look at the diamond. Because at the end of the day, VVS can only have, like, you know, only a few things wrong with it in order for it to be VVS. Like, VS can have pinpoints. VS can have pinpoints. It can have some clouds. But it just depends. VS can have pinpoints, clouds, feathers. But the position and relief, that's what pretty much changes the clarity call. So at the end of the day, if something's like a big like speck or big inclusion on a diamond, it's going to reduce its value. And a lot of the stuff, people wind up paying more money for certain stuff, even a jeweler, and they're not necessarily careful. Like I watched this guy named Avi, the gym guy. I think he's a cool guy. He makes his money, like he gets stuff. I think it's very cool to see aspects or you know different parts of the trade. Hopefully in the future I'll be able to go to some of them shows, this, that, and the third. Do what I have to do. I built up a fire watch collection, and how can I say advise people on what to pay for a watch? I'm not making that much money off watches. I'm telling you that now. I think a lot of these companies or whatnot are ripping people off. Like I wouldn't feel comfortable with someone spending $8,000 on a Omega Speedmaster or a Tag Heuer. I think their like latest hit is like a Tag Heuer Monaco, and I mean they have like a golf edition that came out for around like 5,000, and today it's around like what 12,000, I believe. Last time I checked, not a good-looking watch. There are better watches out there. I could say you can get two Datejusts from like 1986, 1987, 1989, or even 1990, around that price range. You can even get a diamond dial one for like, you know, $8,000 factory, but it just depends. Realistically, it didn't possibly cost them people or a dealer that amount of money. They just make their profit. So at the end of the day, I mean, it definitely matters to me. Polish, the bracelet, the condition. Like, I don't even want a watch that's been polished to a certain extent. It's being sold as something, listen, Bo. I would buy Spider-Man, but it's not a good financial decision right now for me personally. Got some things I definitely need to take care of. Not too much, but I mean, at the end of the day, I'm gonna definitely try to get something taken care of by the end of this year, which it will be. I'm trying to get out to what you call California, finish my next thing. Definitely try to apprentice under this man who's, I think he might be retiring soon, so he's really a master jeweler that cares about product and certain stuff like that. And I want to go from there. And then, if I want to go back to school or a particular part to keep up with the skill set, I'll just go to Tennessee and do a little bench jewelry school there for like 3 months. But I'll save my money. Like, I'll save like 80 grand and I will go. I'll just commute to school every day and then, get my groceries. Have a friend from school go and pick me up some food or something like that. Pay them a little bit of money and, I just go to school. Nothing else. Chill. Definitely go into town if I need some clothes or whatnot and just go. Do short-term leasing and then pay the people the money up front. So like a apartment is like $2 grand or $1,500 a month. I just go ahead and pay them definitely $4,500 or whatnot and up front, and then whatever lease. Hopefully the place is furnished. Get myself a mattress and then just chill. And then again, if I had to move out, I just leave the mattress there. I mean, at the end of the day, it's not really costing me anything. Person had the mattress, I don't care. But another thing I think about, especially too with these companies do not pay well. That's the one thing I realized about these companies. They do not pay people a lot of money, per se. And I watched this guy, he made these people like, $800,000. They start firing off people. And I think it was crazy, but the fact they fired people and they were producing. But the market had dipped. They got fired or let go because of the dip. But I don't think that the people who run the company had that much skill. It's not me talking crap. It's not. I think I can present it with facts. End of the day, if people try to blame sales or poor sales on certain stuff, either they bought too high, which they possibly did. They're not keeping up with market trends. And then when you're in a recession, people are not going to necessarily be buying anything like that. So the cost of diamonds, and diamonds are not an investment. They're just not. No gemstone like that is an investment unless you get pink or red diamonds and they're natural. And they have the certificate for certain stuff, like you might make a 1 to 2%, a 1 to 2% basically profit. Now you're talking about a red diamond, that's a lot of money. If you're talking about 1.2 million, you definitely can make some earrings. You can definitely do this, that, and the third. But the likelihood that you need a good, strong network to even procure those things are going to be very hard to come across. And I still think about, certain jewelry that people do. I think a lot of stuff people do is not really culturally relevant. There's jewelry stores I've been to. Why would I pay $19,000 for a natural I2 stone that's just terrible? Or if you're talking about eye color is terrible. Most places are having between H is not that bad, but we're talking about I, and the closer it gets to M is terrible. No. That premium doesn't exist, and I mean, you're basically paying, like someone said that gold band, like the shank of a ring, like the actual band is worth $1,000. It's not. I hate to break it to people, you're getting ripped off with that one. But the thing about gold, if you buy it right or anything like that, and the thing is solid, you get, for the most part, you get your money back. And you bought at the right time, like you bought jewelry in like 2003 or 08 or something like that, but you didn't buy anything crazy like diamonds or certain stuff like that. Gold can be an investment, but for the most part, people buy all this jewelry and all this stuff that got ripped off. I'm very adamant on telling people that they got ripped off. It's not about what you pay, it's about what you can get back. I would say with anything, if you can't get 85% of your money back, it's hard to rip off. Some stuff you automatically know you're not gonna get your money back. Like you go to, let's say, for instance, you spend money on an event. It might be a success. You know, you might be paying for certain stuff. You might not see it back right now, especially education. You might not necessarily see your money then, but you know you'll make it back. What in the ham sandwich? Honestly, I'm to leave this game because there's not that much going on here. I would buy Spider-Man, but I'm not about to do that. Like, it's just not wise. It is not wise for me to do that from a financial standpoint. Especially considering, like, you know, just a few things. Like, if I think about, you know, someone say 40 grand, it's not a lot of money a year. I mean, it's really not, but I mean, you save your money and you reduce your expenses. I'm not eating beans and rice. Like, I know people talk about fire. Are they going to be retired? Like, no. If someone makes $100,000 a year, a lot of people seem to think that rental properties or buying up this stuff. No, I don't think that you're paying off someone's notes or something like that is going to be the get out of free debt. Or be basically become debt free by basically going and buying up all these properties. You're not going to be able to get that money back. I'd be adamant to say you're not getting that money back. Like, in order for a hotel to be profitable, they have to basically build that stuff out, especially renovations for a hotel. They have to raise the prices of a hotel room or length of your stay. They got to get that money back one way or another. And they know they have to price it a certain way and go from there. The average person isn't necessarily going to want to pay those costs. So, by the end of the day, anytime you go to a hotel, they make you pay for incidental or accidental stuff. You know, you basically, you might get a little bit of amenities, but amenities at a hotel are limited. And that's basically what I've seen over the last, I said we're going on like, what, 3 years? COVID basically changed everything up, and then people are still using the thing where they're not necessarily changing up or checking on anything. They're essentially just going and pinning it on you. You gotta request all this stuff, so I don't think that's right, my personal opinion. And again, for lack of better words, it's not necessarily that great. But again, hotels or anything, apartment complexes, these people are not really making money. I don't think so, because if they go and do renovations or do all this stuff, they have to price that over a course of time. And I know at a certain point they're going to be able to get their money one way or another. Like if someone goes up from, they had a basically contract for a lease agreement that was for $1,500 a month, and it goes all the way up to $2,800 or something like that, or let's say realistically something that's very probable. It goes up to $2,300. Someone's not going to be able to afford to live there, and then at the end of the day, that becomes your problem, and that becomes also, for lack of better words, Yeah, this is just toxic, and that guy's name was Toxic. I can't stand this game in a traditional sense, but it is what it is. Like, I can't necessarily say that much particularly because I mean it's one of those games you definitely have to play to get better, and they are still based matchmaking, which in a sense I am not a fan of. And I'm still thinking about in terms of like, if we're talking about jewelry in the sense in the jewelry stores, there's a reason why people go to certain places. Like, I don't think that some of this fine jewelry that people basically call themselves or pride themselves at is really fine jewelry. For some people, they might be a salesperson, but they don't necessarily know. Sales is not necessarily a good component of business. Like, I would say it's not. Like, if you're in a sales position, people might have to let people go because of market conditions. You have a skill set and, you're not particularly bound to anybody, and you really have a skill set that pretty much embodies the whole marketing, stuff like that, I don't think you'll be canned. Like, if you literally got fired or something like that, or something happened, you'll be good because you have a skill. The workers market is terrible, but the self-sufficient is endless. And I'm not changing my mind about that. We're in the workers market. And I don't think that's a grandiose statement because at the end of the day, expecting a common courtesy or courtesy from people, no, you're not going to get it. Like, at the end of the day, if we're talking about business and then business expense people have, like, how people say that the golden age of remote work is going down. Honestly speaking, people are not paid for the quality of their work. They're just paid off of whatever the company feels. Like, at the end of the day, I know someone said that, they doubled their salary each year working in a tech firm. What? How? That guy didn't kill me. I had 80, bro. This game was terrible. Get back to what I'm saying. Like, if I had to think about games, and then also to, like, for instance, or even certain stuff, like, I've seen certain people market or advertise that a watch is worth this, it's not. The markets went way down for it. At the end of the day, I know what to pay for a watch or whatnot, and for the most part, there's only a handful of places I'll be willing to kind of do business with in terms of a reasonable and affordable price for watches and, supply, this, that, and the third. Anything outside of, the range or certain stuff like that, like there's a guy, he has the best watch prices in the world. He's based in, California. He's pretty good. I would definitely be interested in doing business with him in the future. I'll put it this way. He doesn't crack people side the head. He knows what a watch is worth. He definitely has a thorough process in what a watch is accurately worth. It has nothing to do with the market trends. I mean, he definitely goes well below what a watch, the market price is. And sometimes he gets brand new watches under retail, which is quite rare now. Like, you know, he got, let's see what watch he got under retail. He got this Vacheron watch, 4500V for like 25,000 bucks, which is actually a great deal. Considering that they upped their price, and it's I think complete boxing papers. And honestly speaking, I would rather buy the brand new, because I don't really like pre-owned watches. Pre-owned watches are like kind of fake in my opinion, because anyone can say a pre-owned quality means something that really doesn't. Not this guy, but I'm just saying from other people, pre-owned means nothing. Or even a pre-owned swing tag with these companies that which they bought back the pieces from the open market and put the pre-owned or service it. Not necessarily a big fan, because you're getting ripped off one way or another. And when a person gets ripped off after, you know, buying a watch too high, they'll try to offset the loss. Like someone tried to basically sell their Patek Nautilus, like I think 3700 or one of those. It's like gold, and they tried to offset it. It wasn't really a loss because they got it. They've been had it, and it was in great condition. And it was worth like $150,000. He tried to trade it for how do I put it this way, like a $20,000 watch. Nah, and the thing I like about watches, you can trade. Like, you can trade watches for better. So if you had, like, you know, let's say 2 Rolexes or 2 Rolex Daytonas, let's say 116 500 LN, and let's say 116 508, you could definitely trade for something better. We talk about price and estimation for certain stuff like that. Honestly speaking, for any type of jewelry, like I've seen people pay $250,000 for just an all gold chain. I want to say, you know, depending on the name and then people getting ripped off. I'm not going to necessarily name the jewelers or nothing like that. They've got a name. Everybody goes to them. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't think it's about the name. Me personally, I don't think it's about the name. As much money as you give these people, $500,000 for a 2-kilo chain, nah. Especially ain't got no diamonds or nothing on it. It's just terrible. Like, you spent that amount of money on that. You know, one guy basically said he wasn't smart with his money. He just felt like he was stupid for even buying it. Which, I mean, the best time to learn about certain stuff is when you're young. And to avoid financial mistakes when you're young. Like, do I think diamonds are investment? They're not. Like, diamond prices have gone down by 40%, and it's because of the lab-grown diamonds. So I do keep up with all the technical stuff going on in the jewelry and watch industry. This, that, and the third. For the most part, I don't think that any of these gem sets, watches are investments. They're just not. Like, I don't. Like, if someone had to tell me, you know, what I think about graph watches, or let's say, for instance, pristine watches, I've been in the same vicinity of pristine watches or pristine jewelry. I think they make nice stuff, but it's just not for me. like chandelier setting or certain stuff like that. The flower and honeycomb, you're getting ripped off. I'm not afraid to tell people they're getting ripped off if they pay top dollar for that. They are getting ripped off, and you know, that's not necessarily a good thing to pay money for something that isn't worth it. But like I said, certain stuff you get what you paid for, and if you're not careful across the board, you will definitely feel the definite hurt, strain on your pockets, really. You know, gold, in a sense, is a asset. Well, you buy too much, you buy too much crap, it becomes a liability. And most stuff these rappers have, they don't even have insurance on their stuff, so it's really looking bad out here. Even the watches, I would say, who don't have insurance on their stuff. He really tried that. But yeah, me personally, like I've seen a lot of places too, even with the jewelry and stuff like that, the attire that people wear. I think, you know, wearing a suit's nice, you know, you should definitely look professional. There's a lot of aspects that I don't think a lot of stuff that people do is professional. Like, you know, HR for certain places isn't even professional. So at the end of the day, to me, action, definitely outfit, conduct is more important than, I'd say clothing. As across the board. Conduct. Anybody can go and look like $1,000,000, you know, this, that, and the third, but their conduct is foul across the board, even management. There's really not much someone can say. Or just as far as I can be. Now, if we think about on average, like, you know, I saw this guy sued this watch company, Shreve Comp and Lowe, in, I think it was Oakland or San Francisco. It was San Francisco. The guy spent like $300,000 to get a $209,000 Protect. You could have got it for retail. I would have just bought it on the secondary market. Just ate the cost. If I had that much amount of money, I'm not going to try to build up an AD relationship. I mean, even if you want an expensive watch, you're not going to get it. Like, there's been money on crap just to be able to say you got a watch. They're not going to give it to you. I understand what they're basically saying in terms of, like, you know, but I think that's bull and it's not necessarily ethical for you to spend your hard-earned money. And if you spend money like that, there's no guarantee that you're going to be up on the list. And to me, honestly speaking, there's no list to be able to buy a watch. Like, if you have the money, this, that, and the third, granted, you know, you're a professional, you're kind, you do stuff, you are interested in watches and certain stuff, but I feel like you should get a priority, in a sense, for the thing, or you catch them at the right time. You definitely should get allocated one. If you're in the craft for watches and watchmaking, the only problem I think that, particularly with these watch companies, that they basically do, they do the same thing each year. They go to the same watch companies or a watch exhibit and Bowser World, all this stuff. And for lack of better words, I'm not necessarily a big fan of big name brands. So I can definitely say, I mean, I do like some big name brands. They're not necessarily popular here in the U.S. Like, They have this watchmaker named Constantine Shaken. He makes pretty decent watches, and they're like, you know, cool. He makes a Joker. He made one for the Despicable Me. He's definitely made some cool watches, and I would definitely have that in my collection. Don't care about the price. It's very, I say, affordable and attainable in a traditional sense. It's like, you know, I say anywhere in the $20,000 range. You don't have to worry about getting robbed. I mean, if someone knows the outline of a Rolex or a RM or AP, you're more than likely going to get robbed. So, at the end of the day, I don't necessarily think about, you know, what's popular or what's stylish. I think about what's undetectable. Like, you know, there's this other watch brand I think is decent. I might own a watch of theirs. It's called H. Moser and C. It doesn't necessarily have the biggest watch present or the wrist presence on many people's wrists. Like, you can get a tourbillon for around $35,000. So at the end of the day, you're pretty much getting a high complication for $35,000. And it looks like, you know, it looks pretty basic, but you get a movement that's actually Swiss. You get all this type of stuff. You go from there. But if we had to be completely honest, completely transparent, a lot of these watches that we see basically out here, like, you know, I'll put it this way. The only watch that I would say is big where I live at is, I say, Rolex and maybe Cartier. I don't really like Cartier at all. You'll never see that on my wrist at all. Never on my wrist. It's not about the cost. I just don't like it. I don't like it, and I think a lot of such a release is crap. That's my opinion. Now we're talking about the diamonds. There's nothing special about Cartier diamonds or even Tiffany and Company diamonds. They don't go through any type of tedious process of diamond grading. They pretty much don't have anything less than a specific clarity. That's for a fact. And also, typical color is basically going to be colorless. You're paying, I would say, hundreds of thousands for the name, and then also the history of Tiffany and Company. I mean, Tiffany and Company was good for around the Victorian age. So Victorian age jewelry, I mean, they're prestigious, no doubt about it, but at the same time, why would you pay $250,000 for a 8-carat no certified, you know, anything like that? I would be willing to say you're paying an $80,000 premium for that, and you didn't get a cert. It says Tiffany and Company. I mean, if it was a Tiffany and Company necklace or something like that, I wouldn't have a problem paying that amount of money for, you know, a particular, like, you know, jewelry set in a traditional sense. But I'm not paying $250,000 for a regular diamond. That don't make any sense. It doesn't. It's not a good financial decision. I know, too, people say celebrities wear all this jewelry. Number one is rented, or they rent it out for their celebrities to wear so they can get some type of, how do I put it this way? They'll get some publicity. It's rented. They have a bodyguard, and they have like a little policy on, you know, what the stuff is worth, all this, that, and the third. So you see all these celebrities wearing these nice jewels. I think Van Cleef makes the best necklaces. That's my personal opinion. Harry Winston is a second close, but it just depends, because honestly speaking, I wouldn't feel that comfortable anybody wearing Harry Winston, because at the end of the day, you shouldn't have a necklace basically be able to be worn around as a timepiece. That doesn't make any sense. Loose stones, all this type of stuff. I'd be worried about that stuff falling apart. And for lack of better words, you have all those stones, this, that, and the third. What about the durability? I don't think, too, that, you know, Harry Winston and all these places, they only have a handful of stores. They have a few in New York, you know, pretty much any place that has a big thing, they're going to have it there. Where I'm from, we only have like a Tiffany and Company in Charlotte. So at the end of the day, it's not I'm not really impressed with the jewelry stores in Charlotte or anything like that. I don't think pretty much anything, especially like people talk about Icebox. I have nothing against Icebox, but I'm just not impressed with their jewelry. I'm just not. Not for me. And then too, when you know about diamond and diamond setting, all this type of stuff, I would be willing to say a lot of these people when they make jewelry, it's not me hating on them. They have a certain clientele. And I definitely think if I basically am almost done with this stuff, I feel like I have something unique to offer. And two, at the end of the day, I'm not going to want people to go and spend hard-earned money on a watch or something like that and spend upwards to like what, 27,000, and then $10,000 of work was done, and they're going and making almost twice or $20,000 on top of people for some diamonds. The diamonds and stuff didn't cost that much. People talk about the labor. The labor, I can understand the labor component, but they're not necessarily doing anything different than they would be doing. So the cost is a sunk cost fallacy, and I'm willing to die on that hill by saying that's a sunk cost. Because when you accessorize something, you're obviously going to lose money. When you accessorize a Cartier and then when you accessorize like that, you definitely going to lose money. That's an absolute fact. You're going to lose money. But at the same time, when you lose money like that on a watch, or you lose pretty much anything that you have, particularly, you're not going to be able to get that money back when you try to trade that in. Like, you possibly get I'm going to say you possibly get like $7,000. When you buy something that's not factory and, he's worrying about the wrong person. This guy's an idiot. Then too, if we're talking about all the watches or whatnot too, while we're at it, I honestly don't think that there's any watch particularly that's good for the amount of money. That's just my personal opinion. Like right now, the watch market is definitely going down. Like the overall market is going down 10%. So, I mean, if someone wants to get like a 5726 Patek, the piano dial, that's around, I'm going to say I wouldn't pay no more than $83,000. The market price is around 89. It could go back up, but again, I'm not necessarily a big fan of spending money when it's not any guarantee that that market is going to pick back up. So people go and try to rebound. I'm going to watch this video. This guy, he lives in Dubai. He's a watch dealer or whatnot. He's a Muslim dude. He's a cool dude. He's a billionaire. He just basically does watches or whatnot. He wears certain stuff, and he has the best prices in the world. I think that aspect is cool. Dumbass. All that bullshit. What? Oh my god. That guy sucks. Charcoal Coma, he sucks. If I had that RPG, man, I'd be so good. Now, another component that I'm mad at, well, not necessarily mad about, is since we're talking about jewelry and everything about, you know, the process of buying jewelry. It's not necessarily seamless, like, you know, wire. Like, you gotta do the wax. I would definitely be interested in learning a lot of stuff about jewelry making, or casting, polishing, CAD, definitely being on the bench, definitely doing all this type of stuff. Yeah, I see a lot of people go to certain jewelers for certain things. Like certain people might be specializing in gold, or, you know, 925, silver pendants or whatnot. Because people have religious reasons why they can't wear gold. Or people don't like the flash with gold. Or they might have silver pendant with moissanite in it. Because they say it's a little bit different. You know, that's very interesting. And then you have people who are just like, you know, gold. To me, I would say I would wear moissanite. That's for sure, I would wear moissanite. What time is it? Because I might have a few more times for a few more games, but I'm going to get off soon. Watch that video. Everybody is going to Dubai to get spotted some watches or have stuff out on memo, and they send certain people their stuff. What time is it? It's 9:40. About time for two more, and I'm gonna go for sure. That guy was bonkers thinking about to kill me. But like, yeah, I'm so close to being a gemologist or whatnot, so I got like these opportunities. There's so much you can do with gemology to a certain extent. Like you can be like an on-call person, or you go across the country and people need you to look at a parcel or something like that. You can definitely do certain stuff like that. I mean, honestly speaking, I'm basically choosing a career to have like some type of I'm in control of when I want to work. I'm not ripping people off. I can step in or certain stuff like that. I can do what I want to do in the traditional sense and not be limited by, like, you know, particular. Like when you have a corporate job or something like that, you're not going to be able to do certain things. That has nothing to do with, like, how can I put it this way? Necessarily the money aspect has a whole lot to do with you're not going to just be able to get the amount of time that you want off. And I mean, at the end of the day, you should be working towards something with a career. When I think about like a career, I don't necessarily think that you should be working, you know, in I would say a sweaty place with no type of air conditioning, horrible conditions, no, how can I put it this way? No adequate, how to put it this way? No adequate heating and air conditioning, or certainly like a factory job. I mean, places, jewelries do, or jewelry manufacturers, they do have, you know, particular for companies, they do have, you know, places where people assemble jewelry. Hopefully, it's a heated and air conditioned place. People have decent breaks. They can definitely have adequate time to definitely eat, have breaks, and, you know, definitely get the job done. The only problem I have with, like, you know, the industry or this, that, and the third is pretty much lack of opportunities and advancement for, you know, I would say, for the most part, it just depends of, for people who are clearly talented, but, you know, you don't say the right buzzwords, or you just, for lack of better words, I mean, you may have more skill than people would like to admit, but at the same time, you know, end of the day, you're not necessarily going to grow if you're limited by that's a stunted growth. Like a lot of businesses, they stunt their own growth by not allowing, you know, cross training, development. You know, a lot of places they don't develop people at all. Like if you develop yourself and, you know, this, that, and the third, and, you know, you're given an opportunity to make the best of it. But at the same time, like I said, we're in a workers market. Not necessarily a skilled, you know, self-sufficient market. That's another level. You definitely want to be on the self-sufficient. Wow, this guy is so terrible. I shot this guy so many times. I got one more before I'm off. One more before I'm off. Really. Where's my... Another asset I'm thinking about too is like business and business growth and business development for companies. Like I saw this particular ad listing for a particular spot. I was like, why would someone have a manufacturing spot in New Jersey and in a rough part of New Jersey? Like, why would anybody? I tried to look at the location where the stuff at, and it does not look like a real listing. But then again, I'm not sure. Now, it may have a site, but it may not necessarily be a particular like actual location. That like they may easily do manufacturing for a place, but it's not necessarily. It's associated with the company, but it's not particularly the actual company. They're just contracted out to do some type of little things. I find that very interesting. A lot of companies need to stop doing that. And I'm very adamant about that. They need to stop. Yeah, I'm out, y'all. I can't.